Hey guys, in this video I'm going to explain you about cloud computing in detail. Topics involved in these sessions are why IT companies are transforming to cloud computing and what is cloud computing, why do we need it, and we have explained it with examples, and its types of cloud computing, advantages and disadvantages of cloud computing, and required knowledge to learn and build cloud computing infrastructures. These are the topics involved in these sessions, and links related to these sessions are mentioned in the description below. So please refer those links. That would be easier for you to understand this session much better from basics. If you feel something I have missed or you wanted to know more about something else, please leave your comments and subscribe our YouTube channel for more updates. And you are watching learnitguide.net tutorials. Why IT companies are transforming to cloud computing. Today, IT companies around the world are looking for system and its service availability for 100% uptime. At the same time, they are focusing to reduce the cost. Considering that, all IT companies will have the following changes to achieve their requirement, which are scalability, efficiency, availability and management. One solution we have in the current technology for that is cloud computing. This is why the IT companies are moving to cloud. Scalability, efficiency, availability and management. What is cloud computing? Let me give you a small overview of it. Cloud computing means a type of internet-based computing where different services such as servers, storages, switches and applications services are provided for you as a service by another company and accessed over the internet with many additional advantages. In other words, I would say cloud computing is providing developers and IT departments with the ability to focus on what matters most and avoid undifferentiated work like procurement, maintenance and capacity planning. This is the introduction of cloud computing. Now let's see why do we need cloud computing. Normally when we buy a new servers for an infrastructure that has to be in the data center with proper rack mounting and good power source. For this, lot of efforts involved in buying a servers. Procurement, installation, configuration, patching the servers regularly and setting up in the network and maintaining the infrastructures. This is more expensive and require more efforts. But when you go with cloud, everything comes as a service for you very easily. It is more cheaper, more effective and much faster. So no need to focus on the hardware and maintaining the infrastructures. We save lot of time and money. The best part over here is often virtualization technologies are used to maximize the power of cloud computing. Let me give you a few examples that will give you a clear idea of cloud computing. Example 1. You started a new company. Your new company has a website which is hosted on your server. Over a period, lot of users, clients are visiting your website at the same time, which causes a poor performance or encountering the problems. So you will lose your website popularity and business productivity. How this can be fixed? By increasing the memory, CPU and other resources to accept the load. It should be capable to accept all the incoming loads. This is again going to be a big task, but when we have hosted our website on cloud online, we can scale up or scale down the resources when we need, which we call it as on demand. We can scale up and scale down the resources when we need it on demand. This is also an example why do we need cloud computing. Now another example is, let's say new project has come to you and you plan to buy some servers for the new project to develop some programs. That project will be get finished in 3 months of a time. So is this a good idea to buy a servers only for 3 months? What will you do with that server after the completion of the project? That is going to be ideal. But here in cloud, we buy the servers as a service for the period, and this can be extended if need. And we pay only for the use, which means pay per use. Again, this is why we are going for cloud computing. Hope you have got an idea why do we go for cloud computing. Now, types of cloud computing. Cloud computing is usually described in two ways. Cloud deployment model based on the cloud location and the services they offer. So these are the two ways we can describe the cloud computing. One is based on the location and the service they offer. Each type of deployment method and cloud services provides you with different levels of control, flexibility and management. So understanding the difference between these will help you to decide what set of model and services are right for your needs. Let's see these types in detail. Based on the cloud location, we can classify the cloud as public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud and community cloud. Public cloud. The cloud computing infrastructure is hosted by the cloud vendor at the vendor location, not in your organization. The customer has no visibility and the control over where the computing infrastructure is hosted, in which a service provider makes resources such as application storage available to the general public over the internet. Public cloud services may be free or offered on a pay-per-usage model, as I told you before. Pay-per-usage model. The computing infrastructure is shared between the organization, so we call this as a public cloud. Examples of public clouds are Amazon, EC2, IBM Blue Cloud, Sun Cloud, Windows Azure. Now, private cloud. The cloud computing infrastructure is implemented within the corporate firewall, which means private, within the corporate firewall under the control of the internal IT department and not shared with other organizations. Some experts consider that private clouds are not real example of cloud computing. Private clouds are more expensive and more secure when compared to public clouds, because internally IT departments are going to manage these private cloud. Again, private clouds are of two types. One is on-premises private clouds and externally hosted private clouds, because other vendors also providing these kind of private clouds which is hosted externally. So externally hosted private clouds are also exclusively used by one organization but are hosted by third-party specialization in cloud infrastructure. Externally hosted private clouds are cheaper than on-premises private clouds. Building a private cloud is often the first step in cloud computing for many organizations. There are 24 vendors in the current market and platforms and service providers you can research for your own private cloud project. Some are Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, Cisco Cloud, Citrix, IBM, OpenStack, Red Hat, VMware Cloud, and these are some of the projects you can use it to build your own private cloud. Now, hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud organization may host critical applications on private cloud and application with relatively less security concern on the public cloud, which means the combination of private and public cloud is hybrid cloud. The usage of both private and public clouds together is called hybrid cloud. A related term is cloud busting. In cloud busting, organizations use their own computing infrastructure for normal usage but access the cloud using services like Salesforce cloud computing for high peak load requirements. This ensures that a sudden increase in cloud computing requirement is handled gracefully. This is quite easy. It's a combination of private cloud and public cloud. It's called hybrid cloud. Community cloud. As the name says, it involves sharing of computing infrastructure in between the organization of same community. It's a community based cloud. For example, all government organizations within the state of California may share computing infrastructure on the cloud to manage data related to citizens residing in California. So this is what the community cloud. So these are the types of cloud computing based on the location. Now let's see the next type is based on the service. So based on the services that the cloud is offering are infrastructure as a service, software as a service, platform as a service. Also there are other services are available, which is storage as a service, database as a service, information as a service, and many more. So these are the services cloud vendors they are offering. This is also a type of cloud computing, how the services they are offering it. If they are offering a service, a infrastructure, complete infrastructure, if they are offering, that is called infrastructure as a service. If they are offering only a software, then that is called software as a services. So you don't need to worry about the OS what they are using, the hardware what they are using, about the backup, nothing you don't need to worry. Your requirement is to get the software, so they will provide you the software. This is what the services the cloud is offering. So I will give you small information about all these services. So infrastructure as a services means you are buying access to raw computing hardware over the net, such as servers or storage. Since you buy what you need and pay as you go, this is often referred to use as a utility computing. Ordinary web hosting is a simple example of IaaS. You pay a monthly subscription or pay per usage in MP or gigabyte. And again, software as a services means you use a complete application running on someone else's system. Web-based email and Google document are best known examples. Zoho is another well-known examples for SaaS provider offering a variety of office application online. And platform as a service means you develop applications using web-based tools, so they run on system softwares and hardware provided by another company. So for example, you might develop your own e-commerce websites but have the whole thing, including the shopping cart, checkout and payment mechanism, running on a merchant server. Google App Engine are the best example of PaaS, platform as a service. The same way all other services are working. Now, advantages of cloud computing. Every technology will have some advantages and disadvantages. So advantages of cloud computing: lower upfront cost and reduce infrastructure cost, yes. And easy to grow your application, yes. Scale up or scale down at short notice, yes. Only pay for what you use, excellent. And everything managed under SLAs, yes. Obviously there are other vendors, so they have to provide the best support under SLAs. So overall environmental benefit is lower carbon emissions of many users efficiently and sharing large systems. So these are the basic advantages of cloud computing. When you have advantages, obviously there would be a disadvantages, which are higher ongoing operating cost. Cloud could systems work out more expensive, and greater dependency on service providers. Can you get problems resolved quickly even with SLAs, because we are depending on other vendors? And risk of being logged into proprietary or vendor recommended systems. Yes, you cannot choose the systems. How easily can you migrate to another system or service provider if you need to, because you are depending on one vendor? How could you migrate to other vendor? What happens if your supplier suddenly decides to stop supporting a product or a system you have come to depend on, right? And potentially privacy and security risks of putting valuable data on someone else's system in an unknown location, right? And if lots of people migrate to the cloud where they are no longer free to develop neat and busy new things, what does that imply for the future development of internet? This is again a question. And dependency on a reliable internet connection. Of course, it requires a reliable internet connection because it's all are available over the internet. So these are some of the disadvantages of cloud computing. Last but not least, required knowledge to learn and build cloud computing infrastructure. Most of us have this question in your mind that what are the basic requirements to start learning cloud computing and how to build the cloud infrastructure for my practice. If you have a prior knowledge in data center infrastructures, and if you have a prior knowledge on system administration part and hardwares used in the data center and its purpose like storage, servers, networking devices like switches and routers, all together is a data center. And basic knowledge on virtualization technologies would be an good advantages to learn or build cloud computing oriented architecture, because these are somehow related to work with cloud computing platforms. We can learn cloud computing from the basics even if you don't have a skills on IT. As I told you before, virtualization technologies plays a very big important role in terms of cloud computing. It's not like that you have to go and create a new virtual machine as we do normally in virtualization environment like VMware, VirtualBox and other hypervisor softwares. But at least know some virtualization terms to become a good cloud computing administrator. Many providers are available nowadays in the market to build the infrastructures like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Compute Engine and Rackspace Cloud for infrastructure as a services, and also like Salesforce.com, Microsoft Azure, Google App Engine are available for platform as a service. So you can use them for a trial version to practice yourself to become a good cloud admin. And we wish you all the best for your career. If you find this video is helpful, please do appreciate our efforts and hit like button and share with your friends about our tutorial channel. Stay connected with us on social networking sites, and thanks for watching the video of LearnITGuide.net tutorials.